Paul claimed earlier today that he's standing for every black and brown person in the UK, all right? But then Nigel said politicians should be standing for everyone, regardless of their colour or creed. Imagine if I said I'm standing for every white person in the country. Jovon's message is divisive and racist.
If Nigel Farage said he's standing for every white person in the country, honestly, they'd put him on the guillotine. Honestly, there's no other way. They'd put him on the guillotine. A local MP in Clacton named Jovon Akuso wants the people in Clacton to know and understand that if he wins, he's very much concerned with black and brown people. So what happens to everyone in Clacton that's not black or brown? They get overlooked. But anyway, let's watch it and then we'll analyse it at the end.
Right now, there is a row brewing in Clacton because Reform UK leader Nigel Farage accused Labour's candidate in the Essex seat of racism. Okay, so Paul claimed earlier today that he's standing for every black and brown person in the UK, all right? But then Nigel said politicians should be standing for everyone, regardless of their colour or creed. Imagine if I said I'm standing for every white person in the country. Jovon's message is divisive and racist.
If Nigel Farage said he's standing for every white person in the country, honestly, they'd put him on the guillotine. Honestly, there's no other way. They'd put him on the guillotine. He could never say something like that.
In itself. Getting a bit spicy in Clacton, isn't it?
It really is. And this was an interview in which the Labour candidate also was asked about previous comments in which he said that, he would bathe in the tears of white people. And he brushed it off, suggesting that was a previous different life and he would be a public representative rather than a private individual. But I do think, there'll be certain people pushing this, in their campaign, and obviously he's certainly lent into it. The key thing, of course, Patrick, is that, Labour aren't a real factor in this Clacton race. It's Tory versus Reform. So it shouldn't be too much of an issue, but I'm sure it's going to attract a fair number of Labour people who want to get involved in all of this. And it's a race that's going to attract national attention because Nigel always does.
Is this not fair enough to say, though, from Nigel? If Nigel stood up and said, I am campaigning for every single white person in Britain,
it's over for
he would be called a racist, wouldn't he?
I suspect he would, yes. And I think that Nigel's comments on this one are fairly reserved, given the kind of, some people would feel the need to lie into this. Look, I was really impressed last week when he stood up at his event and he said, I've done more to take on the far right than any other candidates and any other person in Britain. And clearly, I think other people disagree with that. And I think that these comments tonight that come out suggest that others are leaning into a war, which Nigel himself has eschewed. So I think fair play on him for this one.
All right. Well, look, James, thank you very, very much. It's been tremendous to have you on the show as ever. You're on it almost as much as I am these days, which is no bad thing. So thank you. That is James Heale there of The Spectator.
The British tabloids are absolutely celebrating this young man. They're saying he's stylish, he's cool. He's going to bring flavour into Parliament. He will be a breath of fresh air. They're celebrating. They don't even worry about these comments. Now, don't worry about these comments. Let's just look at how stylish he is. Let's look at him walking his dog down the street and he's smiling at the camera. Amazing photo op. Let's look at how he speaks. Very refined, uses grammar immaculately. Let's just look at those things. Let's not look at the rhetoric of only running for black and brown people. Let's not look at that. Don't worry about that. If Farage said it, you can't say it. No one else can say it. But he's a Labour candidate, so he can say, he can play on that race, get a few more brown and black voters in by all means, because they're not popular in the Clacton area. This is why. So look, he knows what he's doing, this Owusu guy. He knows that Labour are not going to win it. It's between Reform and it's between the Conservatives. So he's saying things like this. He's race baiting, trying to go national, which he's gone national, and trying to get as many votes as possible via using race. The left, the progressives love this. The Labour Party in the UK and the Democrat Party in America have done an amazing job in making race the central point of their politics. All they need to do is keep on saying race, race, race. They need to just keep bringing this up. And if you call them out on it, they're just going to say, hang on, we're inclusive. We're just trying to make sure everyone has rights, when they know what they're doing. What they're trying to do is just stoke up racial tensions When it's time for election in America, Joe Biden knows the words to say to get the black people in tune. Same in the UK, in Clacton, he knows what to say just to get the black and brown voters that wasn't paying attention, just to get their attention, hey, the Labour Party's here and it's here for you, black and brown people. So come out and vote. They know what they're doing. They're playing on race, which is a very disgusting way of conducting politics. But this is just what they do. And they have a base that will always be loyal to them because, I don't know why. But anyway, let's look at The Independent. We're going to look at the tabloid right now, The Independent, and let's just look at them hailing, Owusu. Let's check it out. MP for menswear. Labour's candidate battling Farage for Clacton seat becomes unlikely fashion hit. Jovon Akuso has won over constituents with both his policies and Paisley ties. Okay, so Labour's parliamentary candidate for Clacton has become an unexpected style icon. Jovon Akuso, who is going up against Nigel Farage, the Reform UK leader for the Essex seat, has been dubbed the best dressed candidate in living memory by fans on social media. In images shared on the Clacton Labour Instagram, which have subsequently gone viral with thousands of likes on ex-Twitter, Akuso was seen meeting members of the constituency in ensembles featuring vibrant knitwear, green trousers, a classic trench coat, and Paisley ties. Love Jovan style. MPs are normally so boring. One person praised on ex-Twitter, "He had me at the Paisley tie. Moving to Clacton, voting red. Done." Another user announced, while a third person added the Clacton Labour social media post looked like a catalogue shoot. And on your screen now is the picture that everyone was going in fan mode over Owusu for. He says, "Keep it moving, vote Labour, Jovan for Clacton." Well, you're not really for Clacton, you're for a certain demographic of Clacton. But, you just have to be a little bit politically correct, knowing that you slipped up. It has 10.4 thousand likes. I'm sure it has a lot of reposts and reshares, etc. So yeah. And this is just the world we live in. We live in a world whereby, if you're part of the left-wing brigade, you can say whatever it is, you want to say it. And, you will not be held to any account. You're fine. Don't worry about it. But, if you're not of the left-wing, the left-wing mafia, and you decide to, say something close to what he said, not even resembling what he said, but just close to it, they will smear you with the racism. They will smear you with the bigot. They'll smear you with the prejudice label. And once they smear it enough and put you in headlines and keep putting those words, near your pictures, then eventually they know that if they say it enough times, it will be believed by the masses. And this is their tool for eliminating any kind of competition that's popular and keeping, their woke ideas in power, for the future. But anyway, guys, that's enough from me. Like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think about this in the comment sections down below. And I'll catch you at the next video. Peace.